gather around. I want to tell you a story today about one of the greatest Ironman triathletes to exist and how he became that way through maximum aerobic function training. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. Like I said, today I want to tell you a little bit of story about one of the greatest Ironman triathletes, how he became that way through maximum aerobic function, and for his pursuit of becoming one of the greatest. I'm going to be talking about Mark Allen, one of the greatest triathletes in history. He's associated with Dave Scott, and if you're not familiar with Dave Scott, Mark Allen, or the Iron War, Google that. Anyway, we're also out here today for a nice long run. So, I will be telling my story today during our long run. Alright, so our story today starts with the great Mark Allen. Mark Allen, before he became Ironman triathlon legend, was a swimmer, and his philosophy of training as a swimmer was basically go hard, go home. Every workout needs to have maximum effort during the workout. So as a swimmer, his coach would give him workouts, and at some point during that workout, he was doing maximum effort. And then he'd get crushed during his workouts, go home, relax, come back the next day, and go get crushed again doing his workouts. So that was ingrained in his mind as far as training. He eventually wanted to become a triathlete, and I started adopting the same kind of mentality. So all his bike rides, all his runs were also at a maximum effort. There were times where he would just run at a 5-minute mile pace, ride 26 miles an hour during his workouts. However, he was studying other triathletes and noticed these guys could run in a short triathlon. They could run a 10K in like 30 minutes, and then they could ride at like 27 miles an hour and then get off the bike and run a 10K in 30 minutes. And that's what he endeavored to do, and that's how he trained, was all out all the time, pretty much. So that's the first part of the story. I'm gonna run for a little bit and tell you how his interaction with Dr. Philip Maffetone changed all that and totally turned a 180 on his philosophy on training. So let's get some miles in. Alright, so during the 1970s, when Mark Allen was starting to train for triathlons and starting to excel in the shorter triathlons, he wanted to work out how he could become an Ironman triathlon. The first Ironman triathlon took place in 1978, and he wanted to learn how to become better at these longer distances. So, has a lot of professional triathlete or professional athletes do. They talk to the experts, they talk to doctors and trainers and that kind of thing. And Mark Allen met up with Dr. Philip Maffetone. Maffetone have been doing a lot of research on increasing efficiency of athletes and have been doing research for a number of years. And he decided to help Mark Allen out with his training. During that time, as it is today, a lot of the new technology is given to the elite athletes because they're very expensive. And then as time goes by, that technology becomes available for regular people like you and me. So during that time, Dr. Maffetone gave Mark Allen a heart rate monitor. That's something that was stuck to his body and can monitor his heart rate while doing workouts. So during Dr. Maffetone's research, he told Mark Allen to do all his workouts at a heart rate that did not exceed 155 beats per minute. Mark Allen didn't know what that meant, but was willing to give it a try to become a better triathlete, athlete in general. So that's where we're gonna end this right now. We're running on some railroad tracks. I don't want to die, but I'll tell you what happened when Mark Allen started trying to train at 155 beats per minute and how fast he was running. So let's see to do that in just a few minutes here. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah. So Dr. Maffetone told Mark Allen to go run at do all his workouts at 155 beats per minute, and so he did. And we're just going to focus on what happened when he tried running at a heart rate of 155 beats per minute. And remember, Mark Allen at this time could run a 10K around 30 minutes or so. So he can run a pretty long time at in the low fives, 5:10, 5:20, 5:30 pace. And he did a lot of his training in the 6s and 5s minutes per mile pace. So when he finally started training at 155 beats per minute, he noticed that if he ran faster than like a 9:30 pace, a 9-minute mile pace, that his heart rate went above 155 beats per minute. So it forced him to slow down in order to meet that heart rate maximum. So as you can imagine, someone who runs really, really fast, to have to slow down to like a 9-minute mile pace, it can be kind of discouraging. But he did that, and over the periods of months, he noticed something phenomenal occurring during his runs. He noticed that as he progressed in his training and not exceeding 155 beats per minute, he was able to run faster for longer without exceeding that heart rate. So what it did is it trained his body to run more efficiently, and which is what he needs to do in order to complete an Ironman. Dr. Maffetone told him, if you train the way you're training for these Olympic distance triathlons, for an Ironman, you won't finish the race. You can't run in the anaerobic zone for that long and expect to finish and finish well. So if you learn to use fat as fuel by running at the slower pace at the lower heart rate instead of carbohydrates, and allowed his body to run more efficiently. So that's the quick story of Mark Allen, Dr. Maffetone. We're going to talk about the calculation needed so that you can run at your maximum aerobic function, MAF, which is almost Maffetone. Kind of weird. Anyway, we're going to talk about that after I run these trails over here at the park, and we'll be right back. About 10 miles in running so far, and I think I'm only about halfway there of what we're going to do today. But I want to continue my story, and now we're up to the calculation needed so that you can also run at the maximum aerobic function. So after 40 years of research, analytics, testing, Dr. Maffetone, the guy who worked with Mark Allen, came up with a calculation to determine generally what your maximum aerobic function is. So that's basically the maximum heart rate you can achieve or run at while being most efficient. So in order to do that calculation, you take your age and subtract it from 180, and that heart rate that you come up with determines what your maximum, what your heart rate is, what your maximum aerobic function will be for that heart rate. So, for example, if you're 40 years old, you subtract 40 from 180, you get 140, and your workouts generally should not, your heart rate during workouts should not exceed 140 beats per minute. There are several caveats to that. Depends on age, your level of fitness, experience with injury, and I'll leave a detail of those changes in the description below of what those caveats would be for determining your maximum aerobic function. So that'll be down below. But generally speaking, it's your age subtracted from 180. So we're gonna run some of these trails, and in a couple minutes I'll describe the effect on the maximum aerobic function training has had on my workouts. Let's check out some of these trails. So how has the MAF method of training improved my running? I've been doing this for about a year now, explicitly just working on achieving the maximum aerobic function while running. And so for me, my runs, my heart rate can't exceed 138 beats per minute. You do the math to figure out my age. I can tell you that when I started doing this, that I had to run in the 9-minute mile area range, 9:15 sometimes, and it was terrible. I felt horrible. I didn't like it. Felt really slow. Felt like I wasn't doing what I needed to do. And there was times like if I was climbing a hill, or if it was a hot day, I ended up walking. I couldn't keep it below 138 beats per minute, even like at a fast jog, or slow jog, fast walk. But over time, over the last year, I can tell there's been an improvement, and now I'm to the point where I can run in the mid sevens, like 7:20, 7:30 pace for a long time, and stay under 138 beats per minute. Today, I just finished 18.5 miles, and some of it was pretty slow. But I averaged just under 8-minute mile pace today, 7:50 pace for 18.5 miles, and rarely did I go around 140. I was usually in the 135, 136 range. So there has been an improvement, and even though I haven't done any speed work really, I've done hardly anything on the track, my 5K times when I just go out and do a 5K race are still in the 17s. So I can tell there's definitely a improvement and benefit to doing this. Anyway, that's going to wrap up for the workout today, for the video for today, and for the run for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was informational. If I happen to miss anything that you feel that I missed because I was doing this video while running 18.5 miles, leave a comment down below and I'll answer your comments. I'll answer your questions. All that. I respond to every comment, just about every comment. And yeah, so I look forward to hearing your comments. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Let me know what you're up to as well. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please leave a big thumbs up on the video. Until next time, peace.